NBC Movie of the Week returns following these messages.
Saturday on Different Strokes, Arnold and Willis take on the school bullies.
Who wants to get it first, huh?
Then on Gimme a Break,
You just forget about a wedding.
Milton Berle invites Nell to a shotgun ceremony.
I'll call the caterer.
And on Partners in Crime,
I'm in trouble, Sid.
Lonnie's dad's in a deadly scam that could cost her her life.
Saturday.
Jesse Jackson looks toward Election Day. Cover story at 11.
Monday, an all-new blooper show lights up with Groucho Marx. Plus, Ricky Schroeder plays a practical joke on co-star Alfonso Ribeiro for Monday Night Surprises. It began as the most spectacular miniseries in television history. And tonight, after V, the final battle, stay tuned for some exciting scenes from V, the series. One alien commanding an army from another world, and the one rebel she's determined to possess, body and soul. The premiere of V, the series, is only 1 week away.
The Final Battle continues, starring Mark Singer, Faye Grant, Jane Badler, and Richard Hurd.
Saturday on Hot Pursuit.
I'm coming home.
Jim risks capture to visit his dying sister.
We'll get him.
Deidre Hall guest stars on Hot Pursuit Saturday. Sometimes when you meet the perfect man, you're willing to be the other woman.
How can you do this to us?
No matter who it hurts. His Mistress, Sunday.
This is NBC News Digest, sponsored by Sony Betamax, the one and only. Here is John Hart, NBC News.
Good evening. 4 Americans were killed today in Central America. Civilians in an unarmed airplane that crashed in bad weather, says the White House. Employees of the CIA, says the State Department. Their mission, says the White House, was to warn El Salvador of insurgent arms shipments or offensives. Senator Goldwater, chairman of the Intelligence Committee, quotes CIA Director William Casey as saying it was a CIA plane operating in Nicaragua. Goldwater saying it was chasing another plane believed to be carrying weapons. The Associated Press reports most of the families of American diplomats in Beirut have left Lebanon while security at the embassy there is being improved. President Reagan today signed a law providing $350 million for better security at American embassies. NBC News learned that Pope John Paul would like to open diplomatic relations with Israel and is looking seriously into the possibility. Now this.
Confused by all the video cassette recorders? Select the one that records a sharper picture than VHS. The Sony Betamax, of course.
Supreme Court Justice William Rehnquist said today there's no reason in the world why a president should not try to pack the Supreme Court by appointing people who are sympathetic to his political or philosophical principles. Because of the age of the court now, the next president may be able to appoint as many as 4 or 5 justices. The Illinois Supreme Court ruled today that a city ordinance outlawing sale and possession of handguns is constitutional because it does not outlaw all arms. More than 150 elk hunters trapped in mountain snows of southern Colorado were rescued today by Army helicopters, trapped for 3 days in 4-foot snow, and the rescuers are going back for 40 to 50 more before an expected storm arrives tonight. I'm John Hart in New York. More news later on this NBC station.
Tonight, stay tuned after V, the Final Battle, for some exciting scenes from next week's premiere of V, the series.
The battle plan against the rash of fires in the subways at 11.
Sunday, Hunky Brewster is headed for the big game.
Yippee!
But though the game's a hit, Henry fouls out when he loses Punky in the crowd Sunday.
A new animal in the zoo, a rare breed of Homo sapien at 11.
Next on Miami Vice.
It's a hit this song, and you're on it.
Downtown street, there on the corner, 2 strangers meet.
Miami Vice. Next.
You want to rock? Then go for it on Friday Night Video.
I got to get to your mind somehow. That's why I'm hosting this week's Saturday Night Live.
This is NBC News Digest. Here is John Hart, NBC News.
Good evening. The State Department says it was 4 American civilians working for the CIA who were killed in the crash of an unarmed plane near the capital of El Salvador. Senator Goldwater, chairman of the Intelligence Committee, says they were following a plane believed to be carrying arms for the rebels. Committee member Moynihan says the mission was legal.
This mission was part of a program that has been approved by our committees and for which funds have been provided by the Congress. There was nothing illegal about this activity at all.
Geraldine Ferraro says the publisher of the New York Post, Australian Rupert Murdoch, doesn't have the worth to wipe her mother's shoes. The Post, which endorsed President Reagan, had reported her parents were arrested for gambling 40 years ago. I'm John Hart in New York.
Coming soon to NBC, the biggest stars in blockbuster movies and an out-of-this-world series. The battle has been won, but the war is about to begin. The visitors return, and nothing's going to stop them. Prepare for V, the series. Diana's back to settle her score with Donovan and the world. This time, she's mad.
How perceptive.
Diana has special plans for Donovan to possess him, body and soul. Diana has another target, Elizabeth. But the star child is about to undergo a metamorphosis, which will startle the universe.
Whatever this process is she's going through, we have to let it run its course.
Will she become one of them? All the suspense, all the action, all the romance of the miniseries.
Charming idea.
The visitors are back, and they're here to stay. Don't miss the premiere of V, the series. Sometimes, when you meet the perfect man,
Just think about it.
you're willing to be the other woman.
I'm married, you know that.
Meet a mistress, more than a lover, but less than a wife.
How can you do this to us?
I think you'd like to have us both.
Get out of it while you can.
3 lives and all they love on a collision course.
You just have to give me some time.
Julianne Phillips, Robert Urich, and Linda Kelsey in His Mistress. Sophia Loren, her real-life son, and Hill Street Blues' Daniel J. Travanti in an NBC movie premiere.
I can see.
She's a woman willing to try anything to help her child regain his sight. But what happens if the only man who can help
Dad'll take care of everything.
learns the truth?
He's not your son.
You're the liar.
Sophia Loren and Daniel J. Travanti as you've never seen them before and as you'll remember them forever in Aurora. She's a beautiful woman pursued by a man who will do anything to possess her. Even destroy an entire city. The police can't stop him. They can't even find him. And time is running out. Dynasty's Heather Locklear. St. Elsewhere's Terrence Knox. And Simon & Simon's Gerald McRaney in the spectacular world movie premiere, The City Killer. Valerie Bertinelli stars as a girl who at 17 became a nun. But as time passed, she began to have second thoughts about the life and the man she couldn't have.
Tim, I love you.
I can't see you anymore.
What?
You no longer live with the vow of celibacy.
Academy Award winner Patricia Neal, St. Elsewhere's David Morse, and Valerie Bertinelli. Where innocence ends, her story begins. Shattered vows. He was a respected doctor, sworn to save lives.
God bless you, Doc. You're 1 in a million.
He was a loving father and husband.
If I ever had another daughter, I'd still want the same son-in-law.
He was an officer and a gentleman, accused of a horrible crime.
Do you want to hear it?
I have to hear it.
What you're telling me is that I killed my wife and kids.
NBC presents a 4-hour movie spectacular based on the true story and bestseller, Fatal Vision. Coming soon. Spectacular entertainment for everyone. Let's all be...
Your Congress belongs to you.
Just like your state legislatures belong to you. Your city councils belong to you. And your town halls belong to you.
You can help decide who works there and who doesn't.
But to do that, you've got to do one thing first.
You've got to vote.